Hey everybody, Erin again. As Dan just told you, he passed off the questionnaire to me. So the first question is, why are you called that? In real life, of course, I'm Erin. The legend goes that my mother had wanted to name me Mariah, but it sounded too much like pariah. I don't think it does. So Dad vetoed Mariah, and then suggested Eowyn from Lord of the Rings, which Mom vetoed, but they came to a decision on Erin, and that was fine. So I have this very Irish first name and this very Italian last name, and my middle name is Marie. It's unusual, I know that. On the internet, on Twitter, I'm Rinhime, which started as kind of a Princess Erin joke and just stuck. So I've been Rinhime on Twitter for 2 years now. I think I have a YouTube handle. I'm not sure exactly what it is because it's been like 7 years. So the second question is, tell us about your favorite school teacher. I had a lot of really great, spectacular teachers when I was a kid. I had the same art teacher, Mrs. Dyer, oddly enough, from preschool through 8th grade. And she was always extremely supportive and wonderful, and it didn't matter how bad the art was, she could find something good about it to build on. In high school, I had a teacher, second favorite teacher, I guess, Mrs. Connolly, who got me really into Shakespeare, and she was fabulous and wonderful, and got my high school Shakespeare Text Alive group into the reverse production of Othello at the Shakespeare Theater in Washington, D.C. So she was great. Same high school as Dan with Mr. Vogley. Mr. Vogley was an awesome, amazing teacher too. Question 3. What's the strangest food you've ever eaten? Natto. Fermented soybeans. I had it at a sushi restaurant with no soy sauce or anything, and it was horrifying, and I don't recommend it. As I understand it, it's an acquired taste, and some people really enjoy it. Good for you, it's high in protein and all of that, but never, ever again will I eat natto. The smell was terrible, it was slimy and gooey at the same time, and you just couldn't really swallow it. You know, it would kind of stick right here. It was awful. Tell us about your first gig. I worked at McDonald's at the drive-thru, and I worked there for about 3 months, until one day I was at the register. It was breakfast rush. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and this is right off campus down at the University of Maryland. And this man comes in and orders an Egg McMuffin and a coffee. So I get him his Egg McMuffin and a coffee. And he proceeds to come back and tell me that he had ordered his Egg McMuffin with no egg and no meat. I said, well, I'm sorry, sir, you didn't, but I'll get you a new one. It's fine. And he proceeds to throw this steaming hot Egg McMuffin at my face. It hits me right there. And as if this isn't enough to add insult to injury, he throws his boiling coffee at me. I dodged. I got hit like here, and I said, sir, fuck you. You can't treat me like that. I threw his coffee cup back at him and walked out. I didn't actually go back to get my last paycheck. They were awful, terrible people there. I was, 17 years old, maybe at the most, and it was completely dehumanizing. It is the most dehumanizing place to work I have ever even conceived of. Everything is about speed and efficiency and this and that. You're not even serving people real food. It's fake meat. At that point, I believe it was actually mostly soy protein in the burgers. So I don't know what it is now, but back then it was awful. And that was my first job. I didn't eat at McDonald's for like 10 years after that. What is your favorite place in the world? A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I had the opportunity to go to Venice, Italy. And I was there with my dad, and it was December, it was cold, it was rainy. and Venice was deserted. It was absolutely empty. There was no tourists, nothing. It was like me and my dad and the people that actually live in Venice and the artisans, and it was just dead time there. It was like being in the gloom almost because it's always foggy. I don't think I saw the sun once while I was there, but it was gorgeous. And we stayed at a Best Western, and we got the last 2 rooms that they had available, like they were remodeling or something. So I walked up and up and up and up and up these stairs. And my room was all the way at the top of the stairs in what used to be servants' quarters in the attic. And there was actually a small closet off to the side. Now, the side of the hotel we were on had windows facing the canal, but I'm in the attic, so I don't have a window looking down. My window's in the ceiling. And I had slept with the window open because it was a really hot, stuffy room. They had the heat pumping, and that morning, violin music came through the window, and then singing. There was a music conservatory right on the other side of the canal, and my room was across from their balcony, and they were practicing with the windows open. It was remarkable. It was beautiful, and I fell in love with Venice. I walked around for just hours, endlessly walking back and forth. And, oh, Byron had slept here. Oh, this happened here. Just absolutely in love with the place. I would go back in a heartbeat, because after you've been to Venice, or even to Italy, since it's so magical, it grabs a hold of you and just sticks there, and you can't really shake it. And sometimes I think I will never see anything as beautiful as the things I saw there. And I'm probably wrong, but at the moment, stuck here in Maryland, it's kind of a golden age and a golden place for me. So, ta-da! And who do you want to answer this survey next? I'm not a big YouTube person, but there is one YouTube account I do follow. It is a young lady named Loopsy, and I would love to see her answers to this video. I know she's not going to see this, and I'm just going to fangirl out for a few minutes, but hey, I'm allowed to, right? It's the internet. So Loopsy, if you see this, answer this survey. That's it for me. Peace.